smoke on the wall, black horns in the veil, orcs at the gate, goblins on the rail. The marsh went still, the crows flew low, and every good wife knew what the night would show. Then down from the fields and out from the sheds, the Ironmark men came with iron in their heads. No lord in gold, no knight in steel, just common hands and the will to wield. Stand, stand at the wall, men of the mark. Stand tall, swords in the hand, shields in the line. Ironmark holds tonight. Holds tonight. Stand, stand at the wall, common men answer the call. Blood on the stone, fire in the eye. We live, we die, we rise. Hey! Old Bram took a spear right through his chest. He laughed through the pain and would not rest. He bought us a breath with a glory-filled fall, so we pushed the dark back from the gate and the wall. And farm boys roared and cobblers sang, with lead knuckles raised and blades they rang. No crown, no song, no silver plates, just men of the mark at the iron gates. Stand, stand at the wall, men of the mark. Stand tall, swords in the hand, shields in the line. Ironmark holds tonight. Holds tonight. Stand, stand at the wall, common men answer the call. Blood on the stone, fire in the eye. We live, we die, we rise. Let kings keep their halls, let lords keep their pride. We held the stone edge with our dead at our side. If you ask who held fast when the black hordes came, say the peasants were brave, and remember our name. Men of the mark, stand tall, swords in the hand, shields in the line. Ironmark holds tonight. Holds tonight. Stand, stand at the wall, common men answer the call. Blood on the stone, fire in the eye. We live, we die, we rise.
The frost is out the door, gone from the thatched stone. Green birds awake in the hedge, and the creek sings underbone. I saw a daisy bow by the old well in the lane, and three small birds in a row flung silver into the rain. Hark now, the ear turns soft, hear the damp earthquake. Boots on the plank for ship as the warming breezes break. Spring is coming home. Spring is coming home. Spring is coming home. Let it come. Fairies in the thorn. Fairies in the thorn. Dancing in the sun. Children sing along. Lift your cup, my dear. The dark days are done. Spring is coming home. Spring is coming. for the shy folk from the wood. May every barefoot field weary the yellow flame, and every little heart remember its own name. Spring is coming home. Spring is coming home. Spring is coming home. Let it come. Fairies in the thorn. Fairies in the thorn. Dancing in the sun. Children sing along. Lift your cup, my dear. The dark days are done. Spring is coming home.
Oh, so I was talking without my mic. Great. Alright, everybody, so apparently I am stupid today. That's good to know. Anyway, so what we've got is a continuation of building Ironmark. So get out your pens and papers, lads, and we're going to go back to it. Alright, now, I did work in Photoshop to determine what exactly we were working with. Let's see, I don't see it. I might have to double check it. But, yeah, let's set to, let's see. There we go. So I was looking at this and I realized I would have to do some additional work because here's the world map. And we didn't grab this section right here, and it matters because we have Ironmark being in this region. So I'm thinking what I might do is just fill in this with mostly forest and jungle. Now, rivers would have to come down. See, I messed up. See, rivers should be coming down, right? We should have rivers coming down from the mountains. Like so, like into this. And this should be flowing south. But then, I screw up. This, around this, is going to be extremely, it's going to be extremely arid. Not what I wanted at all. So I could say, fuck it, a wizard did it, which, you know, that's always handy. But, thing is, though, is we're working. This would be cold and wet, so it'd be coming down. So if I have it so the current is going this way, now that the current is going this way, then we're going to end up with tropical, especially since this is the equator, so it's in the equator. Okay, so we're going to put desert. We are going to grab this, I think. So we look at the down spike, south spike. Now we had the 2 spikes, but I don't think I saved it. It doesn't look like it did. I did. We got north center. Yeah, I didn't save it, unfortunately. I didn't save the duel, so more of the stupid on me. But let's double check. But yeah, it doesn't look like I saved it because sometimes I'm not that bright. But that's okay, you know, it happens. Part of DMing is making shit tons of mistakes. But what we've got is we've got a decent little chunk here that we can then go, and here is our main world chunk. So what we're going to do is on the other one we're going to replace we're going to keep following it. Where's my paintbrush? We're going to keep following as it swoops around. And then make this, make that the cold water. And then, hello, where did you go? There it is, paint dropper. But, then we simply do this. And this. Now you say, but Rolls, that's not very big. Yeah, it is. It's fucking huge. So, which means when we come back, when we go back to Ironmark, our Ironmark map, which let's talk with some visibility real quick. Thing. Okay. Where is that at? That's missing. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. Okay, but anyway. Excuse me. Chest is still a little sore this morning. Well, today. But looks like we're missing our box chat. So I'll see what we can do about that. Anyway, but the big thing is just to not embarrass. Oh, that's right. We were doing this with it. So you know what? Let me make a new window for that because but anyway. So we're going to fill that in with forest. Guidebook, what we'll call it. Okay. But builder's guide, there it is right there. See? I'll fuck with it for a minute. But anyway, give them a little bit more. So you get some guys that chat can be seen. There we go. There you go. They got the chat can be seen. But sorry I'm having. Like I said, I'm having issues today. But because that's where we're at, right?
Only count to 4. I can 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 only count to 4. The numbers evolve. Even you never made it through middle school. Your education failed your mind. Now the numbers are left. No brain behind. I can only count to 4. I can only count to 4. I can only count to 4.
Hello. A few things here and there. But let's see. Let's see what we can do here. A few things here and there. But anyway, we'll figure shit out. I don't know, there's something going wrong. There's something going wrong with the whole system, so give it a second. Yeah, it's something messing up here. I got crossfeed from somewhere. So let me figure this out. This is fun. This is great. I love doing this. But I love trying to figure out what the hell just went wrong on everything. Alright, let's see if that's messing up still. Because you shouldn't be. Alright, let's see if that's messing up still. Because you shouldn't be. Great. So, there goes all of that work. I can't figure out the fuck I did. Because I did something. And now I keep getting it through. And I shouldn't be. Okay. Alright, this is fucking annoying. Okay, so we got background reading. Yeah. I have no idea what's causing it, so. Yeah, I got a few things that aren't properly running here. Oh well, I guess nothing works right? It's one of those days when nothing works right, because that's how we're gonna do it. But so I got something going on, but I don't know what. So there's that. So anyway, we'll figure it out another day. But anyway, so back to what we were doing. Now, I was talking about how things go, and it's obvious we haven't really done much in the way of expanding on the Crucible here. Because we have mountains here. We're going to continue the arc. Because we don't really need anything but roll 20s hexes right now. So, there's a lot of different ways we could do this. The question is, do we want to? But anyway, before we get down to the kingdom, and before we get much further in the map, we should talk about gods. Now, one of the more interesting things is you don't have to reinvent the fucking wheel. All right, you could use deities and demigods. You could use any of the versions from over the years. There's plenty of decent ones. People have already done plenty of decent ones. Or, you can go in and go to, you can go even further back. The Cleric's Handbook back in the day had plenty to say in the Priest's Handbook. There was absolute phenomenal stuff in the Priest's Handbook for creating your own pantheons, which is kind of funny because it would creation, propagation, characteristics of the gods, fall from grace, designing faith covered pages. I'm looking right at it. Designing faith covers pages 11 to 39. But first, we're going to look at the World Builder's Guide first. Let's see if it's got anything on race. Continents, geography, kingdom sociology, history and mythology. See, we're going to skip over continents and geography because we pretty much got it. We're going to skip kingdoms and sociology. We're going to go to history and mythology. but there's not much there, so let's see what it has to say. Page 84. That's probably 85, being this is a PDF. There it is. Now, he talks about how you have the mythology of your world, which is, and lo did Foe the Elder create the sun as a practical joke on his brother, and when he went to eat what he thought was just a shiny moon, and he thought it was the moon shining gold, he instead saw the sun and it burnt him up. Now, the World Builder's Guidebook says, one universal pantheon, one pantheon per major culture overlapping deities, one pantheon per major culture in contact, one pantheon per major culture no contact. Okay. Here's the thing. You really should have where the elves and the dwarves and even the orcs have at least two pantheons. It's not going to make much of a difference to the players whether the orc is Grummus or Kargus. That has no mechanical difference to the orc stat block. What it does have to do is an orc from Kargus. He is lawful evil. It's first edition, lawful evil. And his people are highly militant, believe in survival of the fittest, and the strong rule the weak. They're basically a lawful evil, but they have factories and towns and everything else. They just they just don't give any care for ecology. I mean, you can really if you don't give a damn, you can rip shit up. Their idea of, mining for iron is either taking it for the dwarves or diverting a lake to spill down and wash away all the dirt to give them instant access. Have multiple pantheons for the elves. I would recommend this. Elves having, the non-humans having only one deity. You can say, okay, they're very, it's what made Wolf so interesting. Is she was a different deity. Now, Gygax didn't really care too much about the dwarven deities and about the elf deities because he gave them basic names because you weren't really supposed to get into them. He believed that elves, dwarves, gnomes, halflings should all live outside of the experiences of the normal man. This cosmopolitan thing is a product of Waterdeep. It really is. It's a product of Waterdeep. It's a product of the Fountain Realms. And some say, the game's improved for it. Some say the game has lost something, and both of them are right. Depending on what you want, the game is improved by it. If you want access and access for the players and as a DM to all the races, to show them off, a melting block like Waterdeep is excellent. Now, here's the thing. Initially, back in the Grey Box, Waterdeep was very, very unique in the realms. And Neverwinter, despite the game, Neverwinter was a backwater shithole. Silvery Moon was much better. Of course, it was ruled on by the orgy-having elf goddess, which is always handy. We like our orgy-having elf goddesses. They're amazing. But where was I? I was somewhere. But anyway, the big one was Waterdeep, and that's because it was the major port on the western coast of Faerûn. Neverwinter was ice-locked half the year. Some pirates up in Icewind Dale, you could look getting into that port. Waterdeep also had Pirate Cove, believe it or not. And it had Underdark access to the Underdark Seas. Candlekeep originally was nothing more than a library tended by monks, so you had to go pretty far. In the Sea of Fallen Stars, you had the capital Cormyr. I can't remember right off the top of my head. You had Flan, but you had to retake that, or had been retaken. And a couple other... I should be able to remember one. I keep wanting to say... Zental Keep was coastal, but I don't remember. But anyway, coastal cities being cosmopolitan, that's kind of natural. Because you have ships coming in from all over, and it's the major trade hub. And also there was elves there because they traded with the Silver Isles, or whatever the hell it was called. And then eventually Mastika and Al-Qadim and blah blah blah. But if you have them like you had them in Greyhawk and you had them in the original DMG, right, in the original writings, the elves are off to the side. Elves, dwarves, no, off to the side. Your average commoner will never see one. They might see one and not know it, like the wagon that went through at 6 o'clock in the morning with the bearded guy sitting on it. They don't know he's a dwarf. Nobody really noticed. Nobody really looked at him. You know? That's how. So, my advice, honestly, is to do both. To do like Forgotten Realms originally had. Waterdeep is your, we'll put coastal cities. Probably we'll put coastal cities here and here, and they'll use the river. And remember, each of these is 80 miles. Oh, each of these is 100 miles. So 80 miles. Each of these is 100 miles. So, at river distance, 100 miles. Let's change the rate on this sheet. Wait, is this really the 500? No, this is the 500. This is 500. Wow, fucked that all up. Anyway, these are 500. And we can drop that to about 50 by 40. Maybe blow it out by about 20 or so. I'm very anal retentive about this part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can probably bring it back by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. That's nicer. It's kind of like those tidy. Okay, so these are world map. 500 miles. Hex size region map 100. So this should be set for 100. So let's adjust it. 100 miles. Okay. So that way it's 1,200 miles to the river. So there'll be another city here. There'll be cities along that river. And then we'll say over to here. Look at that. That's 3,000 miles. This is an inland sea. 2,000. I mean, look how wide she is, Captain. 2,700 by 2,500. Just for fun, let's ask Grok. Let's put Gork. How much of the U.S. would be encompassed by an area 2,100 by 2,500 miles? No, that's thinking. Oh, Jesus Christ, takes forever. Your rectangle would cover 168. Your rectangle would be, okay, you can sink the U.S. into that inland sea. It is actually an inland sea. 2,600 miles, 2,500 miles. You could literally sink the U.S. into that and it would just be gone. So we're going to put when we go a little closer, we're going to put some islands in this baby because, bam. And we can do that pretty easy. Thanks to the magic of hexes. But Now remember, this stretches. This is stretchy. It stretches from. This map stretches from just above the equator all the way up to subarctic. So it goes completely through temperate and halfway through subtropical and into, but it doesn't get to tropical. It doesn't get into the tropical zone barely. So yeah, this is a pretty big fucking area. Well, our little map only gets to midway down in the subtropical, so it's going to be, heavy rainforest. Vietnam. But, yeah, we just come down here and do this. Keep going, keep scrolling. Here we go. Oh, the peninsulas, River Fork Road. Mountain, stream, swamp water, swamp cost, symbols. Now, when you're making your own map, you got to decide how you're going to do it. Do you want to do it like I do and, do it hex by hex? A fun thing is to do it hex by hex, and then you take a screenshot of it, right? And you take screenshots of it, and you match the screenshots together in Photoshop or GIMP, and you stitch them together just right. You save it as a single image, and then you load that image up into Roll20. That way, you can save on your memory hog issues. Save on. That way, it actually keeps Roll20 from crashing as often. And that's how we do it. See? Oh, look, we got Skull Island. Let's see. I mean, in a sense, it's 100 miles wide. That's 700 miles. So let's check something. How fast? How quickly would a medieval ship cross 2,100 miles? Because it's a big deal. Now, the reason why you're looking this up, you should always look up when you are building everything. Look up what your speeds of your ground animals are, what your speed of your water is, because ships made it 60 to 140 miles. So we'll go with 100 just for 100 miles. That's a 21 day, 22 to 15 to 20 days. Up to twice as long if it's bad headwinds. So to cross this, you're looking at, hello beloved, to cross this you are looking at 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and that's a long time on a ship. So going across is not going to be as popular as going along and hitting up each separate city as you go, which means the coasts are going to be full of wrecks. Now, because this fucking thing is so big, look at that, 87, actually. Yeah, 8,700. I mean, 8,700. 87. I mean, I think that's a good decent from London to, America. Of course, the Atlantic Ocean is huge. It's not as big as the Pacific, but 9,600. 9,600. So, why don't we ask? Okay. How long for a 9,600 mile trip? Headwinds halfway. How does this compare to the England to colonies in America run? Okay, so you need to know this stuff. You, as a DM, when you do this, you need to know this stuff. Okay, so that round trip is looking to be 4 to 6 months. because it's roughly the same. It's England to the colonies was a third of the distance. Well, 2.5 to 3 times the distance of the Americas trip. So, yeah. So it's that's a trip. So when you count in, the time spent in each city, that's a year-long trip. But there we have it. It's a year-long trip. And you stop in all these cities along the way and do trading. And then trading up from here. So these cities are going to be fairly cosmopolitan. They're also going to be exceedingly wealthy because the wealth flows down out of the mountains and flows from the opposite coast over here and from the coast up here. And, yeah. Freehand. So, yeah, you'd have like that. Now remember, the reason why I like to draw them as a web coming out of the mountains is because a lot of times they are. Now you will have people say, don't have it split. Don't have your river split. That's unrealistic. I say go ahead and do it at least once because it's funny. Let's see over here you have, group. Once again, we hit the problem with up here. It's going to be coming out of. Oops. So yeah, might as well do that. It's going to be coming out of the mountains and stuff. So just and here's the problem. We screwed up with that upper. So, remember when I said we might just get rid of it? But then, no, why bother? Because So, yeah, anyway. Because it's not going to flow from here to here. No. This is your high ground in here. This is your high elevation. Higher elevation. Otherwise, the waves would just roll over it. I mean, can you imagine if there was a channel in between here that was salt water? It just pours through. Oh, I don't know about you, but yeah, I can't imagine it. What if this isn't a river? What if this is 100-mile across strait? Sorry, 300 mile across. And what if we made another one that did this? Yeah, let's not go that far. But it's surrounded on all sides by huge cliffs. I mean, everybody would have the origin tale of what happened there. I mean, why not do it? Because, I mean, it would be fucking amazing. Yeah, and of course you have your players, oh, that's not realistic. You're playing an elf, eat a dick. Because, we're going for we're going for realism, but we're also going a little bit for, fun. So yeah, you've got you can travel. Look at this trip. Okay, by now you've gone from England. You've gone from England to America twice. Gone to England to America twice. Okay. So, and then you can ice lock this shit. And then, in the early spring, you can see an iceberg come floating down. There's your unusual geography. Always have a little hook. So there's your unusual geography. This has huge cliffs. Interesting thing, they'd be higher in the north than they would be in the south. I think. Yes. Yes, they'd be higher in the north than they would be in the again, higher in the north than they would be in the south. So, okay. So now we've got why they have to sail across instead of just traverse. And see, you could put ancient bridges built by giants, built by the gods. Remember when I said we're going to do pantheons? Yeah, I got sidetracked. Sorry about that. Okay, I get sidetracked a lot. Cognitive damage, But, ouch. Okay, so you have this little blurb, this little guy right here. And that's pantheon size, number of powers. These two little charts right here, I'm going to cut them out for you because I'm a nice guy. But actually, I'm going to cut this whole page out for you. How's that sound? Sounds great, doesn't it? Alright. So, sorry, my chest is painful. We'll take a break in a couple of minutes so I can ease up my chest. Hopefully, I got a noise gate on, so my breathing shouldn't be too bad. If it is, just let me know in chat that, hey, you sound like a truck. Anyway. Oof. So. Go back to Ironmark. I will load it in here. I think I can load it. I think I can do that. Yes, I can. Okay. Huh. I'm gonna have to kill that note. There we go. Alright. So you can get a good look at what the fuck over. It wants to double punch it, but let's get a good look at it. Alright. Get a good look at it for you guys. You guys can take a screenshot if you want. Now, we can roll it up, and you know what? We will. We're also going to cheat. We're going to use we're going to say, okay, these guys have Viking. These guys have, because believe it or not, some players like that. But I will tell you one thing. If you're like, okay, these guys follow the North Pantheon, and your player says, oh good, I'm a follower of Odin, just change it. Change it to something else. Because otherwise, you got to listen to how you made a mistake. No, actually, since somebody says actually, I want to hit him with a brick. Partially because I'm a dick, but... Okay, so Pantheons. Alright, let's grab something funny. Whew. I really wish I did not feel like I was punched in the side. Using random images. No, but that Orban girl showing her naked ass is. How did she get in there? But I don't mind. But I don't mind at all. Somebody sent me a pic of a Dwarven girl naked twerking. funny. My wife is tall and broad-shouldered. You know, good farm girl. And before I dated like midgets. But so let's see what we get. Shall we, chat? Ironmark. Oh god, there's one universal pantheon. Fuck that. Roll again. 87. One pantheon per major culture. One pantheon per major culture in contact. Okay, so these gods. This also means the gods talk. Okay. You can literally have Set going to bitch at Hades. I remember Hades is more of an accountant. It's not what you thought. Okay. So Ironmark's Pantheon. That's the one we're going to focus all of our creative on. Same way Gary did his. 47. Medium. Okay. Medium size. So we have 1 die 3. 1 die 3 greater powers. 2 great powers. 2 greater powers. Good. Evil. Intermediate. Die 4. It's kind of fun that it's just like, you know. 3 intermediate. Law. Chaos. Balance. See, it's basic bitch easy. Lesser, 1 die 6 plus 1. 5. 5 lesser. Okay, now the thing is you can also have it. Chaos is, you know, life. And, you know. Okay, that's, you can really make it easier. And demi. Okay, demigods are fun. Only 2 demigods. Alright, let's see. Roll that one hard. $78. No, let's not go with your We're gonna go with racial. We're gonna go with to an extent. Now we're also gonna mix it up a little bit. We're gonna have it where the elven high mother likes to party with the human god of partying and festival and drink. And that's where our half-elves are from. We're going to do the last Ironmark thing I was working on. I did some stuff up on the races, and I thought it worked really well. We're going to do it again. But, so we have our Pantheon culture. Now we're going to take a look at the complete priest handbook, okay? So, see, you can see it. I know that there's 0 people watching. Thank you very much for reminding me to YouTube that nobody's watching because nobody knows we're here. Nobody's watching. I don't even mind, to be honest. It's 3 in the morning, so we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to go over the priest handbook. So, see you in a little bit.
By the sweetest stain, bare feet dashing through warm rain. refill our pails by the hedgerow stream, ready to shine like a harvest tree. My mother calls from the linen line, come home before dusk time. But the creek says wait, and the reeds near. Every small brown face turns bright with cheer. Summer, summer, marigolds. Summer, summer, take us home. Berries on our fingertips. Berry bowl, joy with every sugar kiss. Summer, summer. Down by the water, the minnows flash. We plunge our heels and we make a splash. Little ones chasing the silver pool, and that's waiting by the mossy pool. And my brother cat from the alder roof, thin line singing for a shy fish. Then we hide where the willow bends, count to 10 and be found again. The creek runs clear, and the sun runs long. Even little hearts can grow so strong. Summer, summer, marigolds. Summer, 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 take us home. Take us home. Berries on our fingertips. Berry bowl, joy with every sugar kiss. Summer, summer. When the lamps are set in the common room, and the night leans in with a honey bloom, two old cups and a shared small smile can turn one glance into a while. By the firelight path, hand in hand, a baker's daughter and a fisher's man. They speak so soft, they speak so near, like the dark itself might bend to hear. Hush now, listen close to the nightly song. Even grown hearts wonder where the bright days belong. A thumb brushes a lace, asleep finds asleep, and the whole room knows what the warm dusk leaves. Summer, summer, marigolds. Summer, 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 take us home. Take us home. Berries on our fingertips. Berry bowl, joy with every sugar kiss. Summer, 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 creeks on bloom. Summer, summer, me and you. Hide and seek till stars appear. Then love walks home through firefly dear. Summer, summer.
Cock-a-doodle, hold the gate! Steel boots on the straw tonight! Hey, hey! He woke at dawn in feathers and pride. Tiny helm on a comb so wide. He sharpened a beak on a butter knife. Swore by the grain he'd guard this life. A hen looked up and rolled her eyes. Said, show him, sir, and make him wise. He dug one claw in the coop yard dirt, then flared his wings like a battle shirt. Hear the clatter at the fence. Boots and hooves and bad intent. He puffed up tall, all chest and fire, then screamed, nobody steals from my empire! Keep out the coop! Keep out the coop! Cluck! Cluck, boom! Hey, hey! Keep out the coop! Keep out the coop or face my boot! Hey, hey! Three fox lads came with quints to sly. One had a spoon night spun his little lance, caught one jaw in a chicken dance. Shield went bang on a wooden pail. He slipped in mud, but he never failed. One fox lunged, got a face full of straw. He crowed so hard the whole yard shook raw. Hear that clatter at the fence, boots and hooves and bad intent. He puffed up tall, all chest and fire, then screamed, "Nobody steals from my empire!" Keep out the coop, keep out the coop. Cluck, cluck, boom. Keep out the coop, keep out the coop, or face my boots. Late by the moon, the foxes fled. One lost a shoe, one lost his head. The hens all bowed to the feathered lord. He drank warm corn like a king at war. Then one small peck and one last glare. He said, "Try again if you dare." Hey, hey. Ah! Keep out the coop, keep out the coop. Cluck, cluck, boom. Hey, hey. Keep out the coop, keep out the coop. Our night broke through. Keep out the coop, keep out the coop. Crow loud, break loose. Hey, hey. Down at Ironmark Farm, a storm came off the bug. Green teeth at the gate, and mud on every log. But Hetty at the porch rail with a broom and an iron pan said, "If you want my yard, boys, come take it if you can." Her son had a spitting maul, her daughter had a hole. The goblins came and snarling for the hens and beetroot. Alright, well, we're back. That's something, I guess, right? Alright, we're back. So, looking at the complete cleric handbook from 2nd edition. One thing I want you to notice, complete priest handbook. What I want you to notice is why you should get this. I mean, let's take a look at how much it is on TTRPG. Okay. And it's for primary security, but there's a reason why some of these old books are like really, really good to get. And if you own these, you know, you're going to see something a lot different. The complete priest's handbook is going to run you $10 on RPG now. I have it. Most of my PDFs are from the 90s. Probably the 90s and early 2000s, before any of this shit existed. And you couldn't get a lot of this stuff. And the funny thing is, but I had every single book I have a PDF for, I owned a copy of from the City State of the Invincible Overlord, which I loved, sorry, I lost the track, Hellstone Keep, all kinds of stuff. I even had Arms Law and Claw Law and Magic Law. I had all that stuff back in the day, which is good. Sorry, brain skipped a beat. Happens. Yeah, you're dealing with a streamer whose brain is damaged, but that's okay, right? We're all friends here. We're all friends here. It's okay. But anyway, so the complete priest handbook. I mean, it starts designing the faith. I mean, okay. So
So, so first of all, you've got this sheet. It's a history creation sheet. Alright? This is a good thing to have. So I'm going to screenshot it. And I'm going to put it up. We're going to make ourselves a quick document. And we're going to paste it. And creation sheet. That is Mythic History. And I am going to make sure that you can see this so that you too can screenshot it. Let's see if we get a little bit better. There we go. I should be able to get a little bit better there, chat. But, there. You can go ahead and screenshot that because we have how was the universe created? What is the shape of the world and universe? What are the stars, suns, moons, planets? Characteristics of the god. Are they immortal? Are they indestructible? I like to do it where they can only be destroyed by another divinity, even if it's a demigod. Or even if they lose all their worshippers, they still keep a little bit of power. They can still affect it a little bit. Still affect the world slightly. Oh shit, this is not good. Might have a problem. Hang on. We'll find out. Because that's what we do. That's all we do. That's all we do. Nope, we're good. Okay, just wanted to check something. So, back to this. So, yeah, you've got your creation sheet. How much direct influence do they have? Here's your big one. Why can't they just pick up a city movement? Why can't they just strike down all the unbelievers? What you do is you say they can only affect their believers' lives. They can send locusts down on their believers, on their unbelievers. You got to make sure that they don't overwhelm the world. Well, why do I have to do it? Why can't the gods just do it? That's why you have multiple pantheons. You see, if Gorguk the Mighty, god of war for the dwarves, just tries to pop in and wipe out all the orcs, the Orcish god of war, actually the whole Orcish pantheon can jump his ass. Actually, any divinity can jump his ass. If you really want to have fun, make it so they have to have their avatar present for anything major. Battles, plagues, they have to be wandering around. I actually had players that helped the god of plagues once. Because he was trying to spread a massive plague. And, they went to the cities, and the cities were absolute garbage fires. But anyway, how much interest do they have in the world? They should have a little bit of interest. What are their intentions toward the world? There's something interesting. Does anything inhibit them? They're vulnerable. They're vulnerable to other divinities. Humans, humanoids, animals, plants, how are they all created? Fall from grace. Did sentient races fall from grace? If so, how? Garden of Eden. The challenge, what is the afterlife to be like? The future, are there any legends about the future of the world? Then you have, who are the main gods of the pantheon? God attributed. Events, what are the main legends known to the player characters? Quick and easy. I mean, you can run this through and you're done. And then it has page after page after page of ethos and requirements of faith, alignment. I know that a lot of you guys have gotten rid of alignment. You guys have gotten rid of alignment for 5e. Everything's gray. Well, that's a you problem. alignment is a good thing to have in there. People without a moral code that just drift through life are undependable. Alignment of the worshippers, races allowed, experience of spell progression. Now, you could, it says right here, it would be possible to come up with experience levels charts and spell progression charts for every priesthood of a specific mythos. But that would be crazy. There's no reason to have extra complication in your campaign. So just use gender requirements. In the worlds of AD&D game, most priesthoods should allow for both priests and priestesses. However, in fantasy worlds and the real world, some faces require that all their priesthood be just one sex. If there is restrictions on a given priesthood, the DM will make note of it and tell the players. That's a big thing. They'll make note of it. So what if you had, what if there's a certain goddess who only allows women to worship her? Or she, they can worship, but she only does priestesses. What if there is a god who demands males? What if there's a female that demands only male priests but requires them to be castrated? That's the price for her divine favor. Not that they're becoming a woman, but they're willing to sacrifice what to her is the most important thing. But see, actually, you know what? Why don't we write this down? Okay. So, we got a priesthood. Now, goddess of fertility. Goddess of fertility allows only castrated males in the priesthood of one of her sex. These males are allowed to treat women and are granted divine favor. Other than that, she only allows priestesses and blood matrons / witches. That is not out of bounds for a medieval. So, what they're doing. What do the priests do? How they do missions? What is the mission of the priesthood? This is a good book to go through. If nothing else, you just curl up and read the damn thing. Church trial. In some cultures, the secular, non-priestly authorities cannot put priests on trial for any sort of crime. That doesn't mean a priest can perform a crime and laugh at the law, however. Most priestly orders police themselves and will try and punish without trial transgressions. Catholic Church used to do this. Frollo would have been burned at the stake eventually. They would have burned his ass at the stake. I mean, he destroyed Paris. They would have done publicly one of the more horrible executions. Part of that is to keep the mob down. Part of it is they policed their own back then. They don't anymore. And you can make a big deal of that. There are 2 churches / religious sects who have stopped policing their own priests and are allowing them to break laws with impunity. There, now you've got some problems. What would be funny is if you did that and it's not an evil god. I mean, that's called heresy, boys and girls. State religion, separation from the faith, tithes, subtle deceit, armor. Like it says here, may not wear non-metal armor, may not wear metal armor, may not wear magical armor, may not wear any armor, may not use shields, may not use certain types of shields, may only wear armor made by priests of the same faith. This book is going to help you if you've never sat down and thought about your religions. Now, I'm not going to lie. No. Well, in my 20s, I fucking laid back in my bunk in the barracks and fucking read this shit, because why not? Actually, I think it came out when I was married. I don't know. I'll have to look it up real quick. Look, tangent. Let's see. When did it come out? Of course, it's not going to tell us because doesn't say. Now this is good quality scam. You cannot extract the pages. Yeah, you need to be able to get the watermark PDF. Don't get the print. And use your printer to print out pages. Actually, when it comes to it, I would recommend, I would recommend a lot of those old 2E books. I would recommend such things as the Glory of Rome and Vikings, both of which are older books, of course, but you're gonna find some good stuff in there. I mean, you know what? We're gonna do it. We're gonna make one of Ironmark's neighbors is gonna be a Glory of Rome campaign. Just for the hell of it, because the books already exist. Why shouldn't we? Nope. Complete Priests and Book Release date. Pretty sure I was 1990. Okay, I thought I had that in Europe. I had it in Europe. I'm sure I had that thing in Europe. But anyway, we're gonna use the Glory of Rome for one of the neighbors. Why? Because it's funny. And then we'll use Vikings for one of the northern. Because we can. Because I hate children. Me, a friend of mine, Hambone, aka Wolverine. We were both playing Skyrim at the same time, and there's a mission where this idiot took a bunch of school kids into a fucking burial area, and it's like, why would you do that? He's like, because I hate children, and for some reason that just stuck with me because it was funny, and my brain is broken. Anyway, those old books are actually pretty good. I mean, Luther's Handbook had some pretty good stuff, but nothing that we really need to bother to translate over. Unless you want to go in there to spells of 20th level, spells of 9th level, adjudicating illusions, researching spells. I bought it hoping for guilds, and I just ended up reading about fucking guilds in ancient times instead, because that's the way it came out. Wizard guilds are badly used. I have it where it's more times, preventing unlicensed mages from blowing up the town. A wizard's guild has more fighters. A wizard's guild has more fighters in it than it does wizards, is what I went with. Paladin's Handbook is another excellent one because it goes along with ethos and explains to you how to build them and how to do the religious edicts. I would suggest, the complete book of Paladins because it was an excellent thing. So you don't have, like I keep saying, you don't have to redo the wheel. I mean, I got one probably most of you have never even heard of. And I mean, you gotta be like me to have heard of this shit. The complete book of gnomes and halflings. I mean, this had the gods, sub-races, but the big thing it had was culture. It was culture. We go page 34, so it's probably 35. Gnomish culture. festivals, fires. Yeah, gnomes have a particular fascination with flame and the light it brings to the darkness in which they would otherwise dwell. One well-known gnomish nursery tale relates the story of blah 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 gnomish hero who stole fire. He stole some sparks. He substituted an illusionary brightness for a real spark and stole the actual flame. Now see, if you did this right here, where it's a gnome that snuck in and stole fire, and gnomish generosity, he shared it with the world. And every gnome has a place in his or her home for a small fire, and in pensive moments he or she will be inclined to sit before the flame and meditate. Yeah. The nose, the big schnozola, the book actually says schnozola, is an important status symbol among all gnome subraces. Parents probably point out the size of their children's nose and make enthusiastic prognostications about future growth. While the practical applications of such facial features are admittedly limited, gnomes will frequently embark on size contests with heavy wagers between members of rival clan. The deep gnomes go so as far as make this the primary determinant of the selection of a new king or queen. It's not that unusual. Festivals. No. I hate gear gnomes. The Orokian, okay. I hate the gnomes of Kryn. God, I hate so much that setting. I like so much of it, and I hate so much of it. If they got rid of the gully dwarves and the fucking gnomes, I'd have loved it a lot more, because it had the paladin. It literally had the paladin or just baked into the setting. The magic was unusual, but I hated the fucking gnomes. Gnomes, it's weird, because I'm okay with the gnomes in WoW, but I'm not okay with the gnomes. But trade, and then taboos. If you want to be adulty, you could always have one or two sexual taboos. And here's what's weird. Say that oral sex isn't really a thing and kind of taboo among Norman society because of their fucking nose. Unless you want to consider it a pussy plow, but I could face fucking, I'll break a gnomish girl's nose. I love this picture right here. Because the gnomish wizard is like, I'm out of here. Yeah, that gnomish wizard is like, fuck this. You guys go in. And then you got halflings, of course. But if you're really going to want to make a setting, you really need to concentrate on your gnomes and halflings. This is going to sound weird. We're going to have to concentrate on the gnomes and halflings. We've got a real challenge for ourselves. I really set up a challenge. Because I did this. We are going to have humans, half-orcs, half-elves, dwarves, catfolk, ratfolk, umas, because I like the idea of umas, because umas are going to get a lot of work. Mousefolk, elves, gnomes, halflings. Look at that. Some of these will have adopted a human, or whatever, will adopt the gods around them. But we're looking at making, now Umas are going to be easy. We're just going to use the, love to run. We're going to steal a little bit from Pretty Derby. It's not like, horse girls, just girls, no males. Because when I think of the males, I think of the big horse from Marshall Bravestar. And I know that dates me right there. But anyway. So yeah, we need to sit down and go through, make sure everybody's somewhat on the same hang on, I know this. Use powers and pantheons. Powers and pantheons is not the complete. This is a forgotten. See, I'm just going to show you this real quick. This is the Forgotten Realms. They're gods. Yeah. So, you can see they used, you have Horus and Ray, you have Isis, you have Osiris, you have Sebek, Set, Thoth, from Alhandria and Ulthric. Then you have, some prominent temples, Pherodian Pantheon demi-powers, Nobia and Red Knight. I just wanted to show that to you real quick. Because, I'm a nice guy like that. But, believe it or not, I have once sat down from my home through a campaign setting, and I built basically a book like those, so that and the people who were playing with me at the time loved it, But the complete book of Biblians, another one you should get. Look at the table of contents. And it's got some really good stuff. Defining your villain. This is how to build your villains. How to build new villains. And I guarantee you sit down with this and you follow it. Actually, you follow a couple things that we're going to be looking at. And you're going to see a huge difference. And like I say, why invent the wheel? I did buy all those DM's guide books, Dungeon Master's book of blank. I bought them mainly to support the community, but mainly because I could. There's more to it than that, but where was I? Lost again. Sorry, it's having a medication thing. Lost again. That's why I don't stream some nights. I'm supposed to. I try to stream Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, but some nights I'm worse than this. I can't really stream when I'm like that, Yeah, because it gets even worse. Sorry. Anyway, we're looking for PDFs. We're going to go through and we're going to use each of these books. We're going to use each of these books to Dungeon Builders and Dungeon Master's Design Kit. We're going to use all these, and we're going to use this building Ironmark because it'll be fun. Plus I want to show you guys some of the stuff we used to have back in the day. This shit sold like crazy. Or at least every DM. Well, that's the problem. It was DM stuff. So every DM I knew had them, but that wasn't enough for people. Okay, so we've got our races. Ding, 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 ding. Now, female only. Female only. Low birth rate. Female only. High birth rate. Low survival outside of civilization. And mainly because I like the whole oh dearie me. Lady Stinkbutt. I was doing something with her. Oh yeah. I was showing how to make I'll show it again how to make multiple. How you can make multiple tokens for the same character sheet. It's just it's a handy thing to have. It really is. Who are my women? You can practically hear these mice girls going, "Oh dear me." I mean, you can actually hear them. Oh dear. I fear I've left my umbrella. And see, already we got 4 clans. Gray, brown, 3, and white. And you can do the same for rat folk too. Look, do not be afraid to have religious and racial conflict in your world. There's a meme out there. It's some puppet telling Wizards of the Coast. I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. You've gotten rid of so much that I don't see a reason for adventuring anymore. And that's pretty much where they've managed to take my beloved hobby. And I'm sure, some weirdo's gonna come lunging out and yell, "It's not for you anymore." Go fuck yourself. But it's without strife, there's no reason for these adventurers to adventure. And there's not. And it's going to be everything from racial and kingdom and disasters and everything else. Nobody gives a fuck that Dumsel the Grey is actually a good demon. He just wants to share his pudding pop rest. Nobody gives a fuck. Get the fuck out of here with that. It's always the same thing. All the demons are misunderstood, and the succubus would really like to just curl up with some hot chocolate and not suck a big dick. While Princess Pantheon is a genocidal maniac who's going to kill the entire world because their dad made them get up and go to church. And we all know that's what it is. It's all fuck you, Dad. But anyway, so when we're doing the pantheons, we're gonna have to sit down, and do them, a couple of cool names like Barcock the Cruel and stuff like that. Now, the reason why you choose races before you choose gods is because you need to decide, does every race have their own gods? Still. The beast folk god. It'd be fun if he was dead. The beast folk god is dead. What are these poor mouse girls gonna do? Their god's dead. What are they gonna do? Nothing. That's what they're gonna do. Because they can't do anything. Because their god is dead. I mean, you've got to sit and think about it. Why is he dead? Why are they dead? And it could be that maybe the beast folk are new arrivals. Maybe they just showed up because dead god. This region would be fucking terrible. This region would be one of the worst regions in the game because salt. But at the same time, you'd have people out there, talking about how I made my riches. Bitch, I'm rich. Look at all that salt. You're not rich. I am. But, we're going to have to think about this stuff, which is kind of neat. I mean, I enjoy it. That's why I'm going to walk everybody through it. I like doing it. You might not, so I will walk you through it. You will learn. I will teach you. Okay. So we've got, multiple races. We've got our Umas. We've got our. Now, Halfling Shires are great, so we are going to stick with the Halfling Shires. Why? Because I want to. I will probably design other places they live besides the Shires, because I can. Because I know what I'm doing. And I'm going to teach you how to do what I know how to do what I know how to do. I thought you might like that. But, the big thing is we make sure that oh man. And yes, I have an emergency appointment. We all know where this road led. We all knew the bill was going to come due, right? But it eventually does. But, anyway. Now this is down in the subtropical, so we could very much do this. We could have desertification. All the way to the ocean, because okay, now our hexes are 100 miles, so this would be like a small Dead Sea. And why not? You have a couple of them around here. A couple of them out here that were once fed by the mighty current. But yeah. That gives us, we threw it out there just for shits and giggles, and it actually is going to be an important part of the whole thing. Because now see, we could we could leave this shallow, say to a 90-meter depth, and in the depths you've got ruined cities, and maybe with what's that called? Aboleths and sea elves and mermaids. There's a reason for the mermaids. There's a place for the mermaids to be right here, off in this light band right here. Okay. So it's an idea to have the beast folk, recently, the past couple centuries, be released. Alright, but anyway, let's go back to our World Builder's Guidebook. Okay, so we made our rolls. History and mythology. There we go. Pantheon involvement. Okay, Pantheon involvement. Need a percentage. Sorry. All right, 80. They're meddlesome. Okay. Here's where I'm going to use a line from Gina. The gods are meddlesome, and cruel. The gods meddle. Half the time the prayers are that the god goes somewhere else. Let's see. Meddlesome, they take interest in even the fairly minor events or situations concerning their followers, and manipulation of their temple's fortunes is the primary means of discourse. Moderately important followers receive advice and guidance, with the highest ranking followers in frequent communication with their patron. Deities create avatars at will to interfere with their followers and meddle in mortal affairs. That is the world of Xena, where Ares might just be fighting in a bar because he likes to fight. If you're going to do this, that changes everything. Hi, puppy. Sorry, I'm not up to taking you out tonight. I'll take you out a little bit, okay? I know. Want a potato chip? There you go. You come over to get a chip? my pit bull, I have a big pit, I have a well-trained pit bull, and she likes potato chips. Let's see. Moderate. The average level of involvement. Very important. Followers receive advice and guidance as needed. The deity takes interest in and aids in major causes or crusades. While avatars are rare, and times of unusual danger or opportunity. Okay, we're going to go with moderate. I know we rolled meddlesome, but we're going to go with moderate. Meddlesome, things don't get very far because the gods get jealous and cruel. Okay, and then you got History of Thought. Now you have where you can roll up, where you can roll the deity portfolio. So we're going to skip that. World cosmology, we're going with real physics. Heliocentric, one sun. But that has others. You can get other things. Tolmec. You know, if we really wanted to have fun. Oh, yeah, in a Ptolemaic system, the world is the center of the world is the center of the solar system. And you know, you can actually do a round world, flat and round, with two sides, and or one side, and it's on the back of a gigantic turtle if you want. I've had players, go to one of those worlds, and I always think it's neat. Or you can just make it a dish with lava in the middle. Open portals to the para-elemental plane of magma deep within the crust. I'm sorry. Hey. Now you can decide that that there are worlds or planes that orbit. If you do that, you just say the tides are what they are. You don't worry about realism, which is fun. Because then you can have multiple moons. You can have, air, earth, fire, water. You can have a moon that's literally a gate to the elemental planes that orbits, and that's what you've got, because you can do what you want with the moons, but nobody's ever going there. There was one module I remember where it dealt with going to the moon, and there was giant spiders that lived on the moon, and they were intelligent, they were nice, and their first contact with humans was a paladin that always said gee whiz, so the spiders always said gee whiz. It was kind of funny. And then you got to decide myths and legends. Creation myth. Okay, you got to come up with your creation myth. A little bit of history doesn't help. So, alright. Events that took place in ancient history are viewed through the dim and indistinct haze of the ages. Okay? On the other hand, some of the most cataclysmic events take place thousands of years ago. It seems to be a requirement. Why? Because it happened in real life. There's evidence that the human race has taken a fucking pounding. But we're still here. Anyway, so we'll roll 2 because it amuses me to roll 2. Six and a 4. So we got a Discovery Technological and Empire Falls. Technology that can cause the Empire to fall. Huh, that's a tough one. Wow. Ancient times a technology that led to disaster. Ancient times empire falling. Actually, you know what? It doesn't have to be a cataclysm. It just says discovery technology. Written word. Middle period, die 20. Okay, let's see. And then recent history is within the last, say, 20 to 40 years. And that should be just before the PCs were born. Alright, you're supposed to roll 2 die 6. 2 die 6 for the ancient. 6 of them, so okay. What do we got? 5 Empire Rises. 6 Empire Falls. Got some good stuff here. 11 and 12. More epic and more racial. You know what? We're going to get rid of that and we're going to grab Cataclysm Natural. Okay. Middle period. Let's see. Generally, a timeline consists of 2 die 6 ancient ages of 5 to 1,000 years each. 500 to 1,000 years each. Alright. So let's do the 2 die 6 again. 7. 7 ancient ages. Wow. 1 die 6 plus 4. Little 1 die 6 plus 4. Times 100. 700. 2. 3. 4. 3, 4, 5. 6. 7. Okay. 4 die 4 middle periods. So 9 middle periods. So we'll do that later. And then 2 die 6 events of note in the years immediately preceding the current date. Okay. 6. Oops. Screw it. Wow, 7 recent events. Okay. So, we will go through later. I will probably do that later. Building a heroic saga. You have to make sure you have a breathing world around you. But at the same time, when you play a video game, when you play a Spider-Man video game, you want to play Spider-Man. You don't want to play Random Passerby number 57. So when you construct this, it should be a world where there is plenty to do, which is why you have the hinterlands. You have, where we're setting it, people explore the fuck out of places. The Sahara Desert kept out people from exploring south for a long time. So we spread across Eurasia to the point where there was Chinese silks in Rome because traders walked that distance. You gotta realize, a lot of those guys walked. I mean, that shit was brought from like Shanghai to Rome by dudes walking along next to mules. I mean, then once you do that, you get into customization, your races, magic, and all that. And that's when that is where this book comes to an end. Now we're gonna do a little bit of work on that later, but see, that's when you would go to, we still haven't really gotten down to working on Ironmark. I've decided Ironmark is where the adventure is going to take place. Now we put the Vikings up here, up in this area. We put the Glory of Rome guys. Put them over here. They largely were blocked off by this. They were largely blocked off by the desert, and so they knew it was out there. I mean, it's one thing to know it's out there, and once again we get into diminishing returns. Yes, they knew the desert was out there. There had people out there mining salt for centuries. Did they care? Not really. As far as the Empire was concerned, wasn't that big of a deal. That sounds like loser talk. But now to put it plainly, there wasn't really any reason for them to the glory of Rome. So, not Rome. And not Vikings. Now they can get around. According to our world map, they can go around. But, actually, no. Let's put not Vikings over here. But I'm gonna sign off. So, everybody have a good night. And I'm going to go lay down. So, everybody have a good night. See you guys tomorrow. Suddenly don't feel that well.
sleep near my knee, salt by the sill and iron by the ash in the When June unfastens the green hill gate, we run to the bramble and laugh too late.